Hey guys, D-Sol back in the Nerd Cave for a quick conventions pickup video for you today. So went to Monster Mania 65 in Oaks, Pennsylvania Expo Center. Really great event, and just wanted to kind of share with you some of the things I picked up, some of my signatures, some of the things I picked up from vendors. Really great time. Um, I'm a little tipsy. It is about 2 a.m. Post Thanksgiving, so hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Met up with some friends at the bar. We had a great time. I'm back, and I figured, hey, let me do this video. So hopefully, it's not too crazy, but just wanted to share with you some of the things that I got at Monster Mania 65. Monster Mania 65, like I said, was at Oaks, PA, which is at an expo center. So the difference between that versus the the other conventions they do at hotels is that it's a much bigger space. They have a lot larger capacity, so it's a lot more people, but it seems more spread out versus your Cherry Hill where it's kind of packed. But I do prefer the Cherry Hill uh, convention just because that's the one I'm used to. You can get your hotel right there at where the convention is. Very convenient. It is a little packed, whereas the big convention center seems kind of cold. Um, but again, really great time, really great guests. I will show you very quickly just the poster. Again, this was Monster Mania 65. It happened during November 21st to 23rd of 2025, right before Thanksgiving. Had a great set of celebrities. You had, of course, Gillian Anderson, and just obviously you had a X Files reunion. And just here's a little bit of everyone that was here: Gillian Anderson, Michael Rooker, Juliette Lewis. There was an X Files reunion, Cobra Kai, Daniel LaRusso, of course. So you had Billy Zabka, Ralph Macchio, a lot of folks here, really great. I'm surprised that they don't have Linda Blair on this poster. Linda Blair was there. She was one of the main reasons why I went to this convention. She's been at a bunch of conventions, have not gotten her signature before. So I had the VIP. We'll get into that a little bit later. It was between Jillian and Linda. It was always gonna be Linda. My brother-in-law did not need his skip the line pass from his VIP, so I was gonna get Jillian, but we'll get into it in a minute. But here's the poster. Like I said, I was a VIP, got a VIP ticket, and that's the way to go, really, with these conventions because you never know who they're going to announce, and these VIPs sell out kind of quick. So you kind of take a gamble. A couple years ago, at I think it was the first Baltimore convention, we got the VIPs and we didn't need it, and they were being real assholes about selling the skip to line passes on Facebook. We ended up just giving them away. We did a cool little like, hey, we hid it somewhere, find it kind of scavenger hunt. Um, but they've kind of been a little more lax about that recently. Um, but we still get the VIP just because like you never know, and it kind of worked out this time around. But with the VIP, you get a T-shirt. So here was the T-shirt. Pretty cool. And let's kind of just jump into some of the things I picked up. So, like I said, I saw um, William Zapka, right? Johnny. And I had him sign my 4K box set of the Karate Kid trilogy. So there it is right there. And then I had this signed as well by Ralph Macchio, but this is from a previous convention. So I had him sign this back here. I've got an awesome photo with him as well. Throw him over here. Nope. There we go. Also picked up a signature from Lou Temple, who played. He's been in a few things. He's been in the walk. I almost said Legal Dead. That doesn't make sense. The Walking Dead. And he was in the Halloween Rob Zombie remake as one of the guards in the movie. With who else was in that? I am trying to remember. But anyway, here is the poster, and here is Lou Temple right here. So the other guard was Danny Trejo, and I haven't gotten Danny to sign this yet. He's been in a few conventions. I've just missed him. So I've gotten a lot of people to sign this so far, and I pretty much have everyone. I think I just need Danny Trejo, to be honest with you. And then I might be done with this poster. So super excited about that. But Lou Temple was awesome. He was a super nice guy. Great conversation. Seemed really happy to be there at the convention, which is always nice to see from celebrities. Juliette Lewis is the same. I didn't get anything signed by her, but I just saw her, and she was so animated and just so happy to be there. Unlike Gillian Anderson, and I'm just might as well just talk about this now. Gillian Anderson was going to be there, and I have an old McFarlane Toys X-Files figures, and I was like, you know what? She's there. Let me get it. My brother-in-law was not looking to use his Skip the Line, so he was going to give it to me. And I was going to get Linda Blair, because Linda Blair was here as well, and Jillian. And I got on the Jillian line, and as soon as I handed in the VIP Skip the Line, I got on the line. They were like, oh, she's not going to be here until 9 o'clock at night on Friday. It was because she missed, I guess there was an issue with the flight. And then as soon as she was going to get there, she had to jump on a photo op. So like I wouldn't have been even getting her signature for another like hour and a half. And then they started saying like, oh, you can't talk about this, you can't have your phones out, it's $100 for an 8x10. If you want something of your own sign, it's $130. And it's just like, it's a bummer. It's like, God, it's just so mechanical. It's like Soup Nazi. It's like you walk up, you hand it in, you give them money, you give the thing to sign, she signs it, and you walk away. And it's just like, God, like why do I bother? So I was like, fuck it. And I was like, give me my Skip the Line pass back, because I don't want Gillian Anderson. I didn't really care. You know, I liked X-Files. X-Files was out when I was a kid, and I have great memories of it. But it's just when a celebrity comes around and gives all these rules, and it's just clearly doesn't give a shit to be there. And, you know, I guess a lot of people were there, and they were glad to meet her, and maybe they had good interactions with her, so maybe I shouldn't be saying this. But the way that the handlers explained it really turned me off. And I was like, fuck it. I don't need Gillian Anderson. I'm only bringing this figure because she's here. I'm not, you know, Linda Blair is a legend. In this genre, and I have not gotten anything signed by her before, so she was the goal here. Jillian was not, again, not discounting X-Files, and maybe it's more the fault of the handlers and the people working at Monster Mania to set that example of like, you're not gonna have a good time on this line. You're going to go, and she's going to barely say anything, and you can't ask questions about certain things, and you can't have your phones out. And if you have your phones out, you get kicked out of the line. And it just makes you feel like shit. So it's either her fault or their fault, or a little bit of both. And, you know, I'm going down the rabbit hole here, but fuck that. I'm here to get signatures from people I want, that want to get my signature. So, yeah. So, Linda Blair was the one. Gillian Anderson was not. Although she looked great. She did. She looked fantastic. But, no, I did not. But, speaking of Linda Blair, same kind of thing that almost spoiled it. I got there Saturday morning at 9 a.m. to go on the VIP line. I was number 6 on the VIP line. Skipped the line pass. And her handler was like, don't talk about this. Don't talk about Exorcist. She doesn't want to talk about Exorcist. Here's a list of movies that she has done. That she'll be happy to talk about, family friendly movies. And I'm looking through the list, and Savage Streets is on the list. I'm like, since when has Savage Streets been considered a family movie, number one. And I was a little annoyed because I just went through the whole Gillian Anderson the night before, and I did want something signed. I wanted something signed that they told me I might not be able to get signed because there was a crucifix on it. And it just got me annoyed. And it's like, okay, I mean, listen, I get it. And she's there, and they talked about how she's there, and she gives all her money to giving to dogs and animals and rescuing them. And that's a great thing to do, and that's awesome. But you're known for The Exorcist. Like, why bite the hand that feeds you? You're only here, and you're only getting this money because you are part of that legacy, and it's an amazing legacy. And for people to shit on it, it's so annoying, and that almost turned me off. But it's Linda Blair, right? So it was like, I gotta, I needed her signature. So she was super nice, by the way, but it just, got there at 9 a.m. She didn't get there until 11. All these rules, can't talk about The Exorcist. And, I was being a little bit of a dick, and I said to the handler, so I guess questions about Rick James is off the table? And they were like, yeah, that's a safe assumption. Okay. I mean, I'm not an asshole. I wouldn't say something stupid, but it's like, come on. Like, she's known for The Exorcist. Come on now. Like, it's just ridiculous. Do I talk about Repossessed? Like, give me a fucking break here. But anyway, so I met her, talked about her animal rescue thing and how I'm appreciative of what she does for dogs. Excuse me. And she was very nice. She liked to talk about that. So that's what we talked about. I wasn't an asshole. She didn't want us to talk about Exorcist, so I didn't ask about The Exorcist. But I did get a couple things signed that were related to The Exorcist. And the first thing was this amazing 3D printed photo that I got from a vendor, and the name is escaping me, but I will put it on in the link for their website. Amazing group of guys. I bought a bunch of things from them that I will show you, and unfortunately I'm forgetting their name. I don't have their card on me, but I will put it in the link. They make these 3D printed just items that are just fantastic. And one of the things I got, so I was going to get my pop signed, which I will show you, and a steelbook. And I got this instead. And this is something where the handler initially was like, I don't know if she'll sign this. And it just got me in a bad mood. But then when so that's like, she had two handlers. Her second handler was like, oh no, she'll sign it, no problem. So we're good. So this is something that I got. And just what amazing artwork this is. And this is 3D printed. So it's embossed, debossed, all that stuff. But I put it in a nice frame. And for some reason, she writes sweet dreams. She writes sweet dreams on everything. I mean, I'd rather her just probably put her name. I mean, sweet dreams. I don't know if that's from the movie. I don't think so, but sweet dreams, Linda Blair. But again, we had a nice conversation. She was a nice woman, and you just have to respect it. She doesn't want to talk about certain things. You don't talk about them. It's just, why bite the hand that feeds you? It doesn't make sense. I'm going down this rabbit hole, and I apologize. I'm drunk. But I apologize. Taking a sip of Gatorade because I desperately need it. There we go. Next up from Linda Blair is my Reagan Pop. Again, sweet dreams, Linda Blair. But I do like the fact that she used the green, bright green pen. So that's great. Next one up is the actress, and here, let me show you this. Here is something from Monster Mania. Here's the program, which is great. Don't remember her name, but the person who played the nun was there, and she signed my other pop, and it's really cool. She puts a ton of crosses on it, and her name, very nice. She was very nice person. Had a nice conversation with her as well. I heard recently that pops are kind of going bankrupt. No one's into pops anymore. I have a huge pop collection, about 150 pops. I stopped collecting pops about 3 years ago. I still buy pops to get signed. So I did recently buy the Exorcist one. This one I bought at the convention for like 15 bucks. This was like 12 bucks online. Worth it to get signed. I think it's a nice item to get signed, but I don't pick them up anymore unless I get them signed. So let's put this guy right here. Can this stay? There we go. Okay, so that is that. Next up, I'm not going to keep this out, but I will show you. I recently picked up an oar. You can probably see it back here. Here we go. From Crystal Lake. I went to Camp Nobi Bosco a couple of years back. Did a Camp Crystal Lake tour in Blairsville, New Jersey. And I decided to I've had this for a couple years, and I finally decided to use it to get things signed. So I already initially had the girl from part 3 and part 5. So I have Adrienne King from part 1 and Amy Steele from part 2 who were there. So it's really great. And she actually wrote Alice OG Final Girl. She said, do you want me to put Alice 1 and 2 or OG Final Girl? And I'm like, you got to put the OG Final Girl. So I think it looks really great on here. So we got 1, 2, 3. I'll probably put 4 here if she's ever around. 5. If 6, you never see 6. But you do see Tom Matthews, so he could be the final guy. And then 7, unfortunately, has passed away, so I don't think that will work out. Although I think the guy survived in part 7 as well. So if he's ever around, that can work too. But sad, once you get older and you see some of these actors passing, it is really sad. But great to have this signed. So that is my oar, and I'm going to hopefully not fuck that up. Put it off to the side here. Can I do it this way so you guys can still see it? Let's see. It's totally good again. There we go. You're not going to really see it. There we go. All right, so that's the oar. What else did I get signed? Did I get anything else signed? All right, no, that's it. That's everything I got signed at the convention. So let's jump into some of the vendors. Again, we talked a little bit about the vendor that did the 3D models and the 3D stuff. So let's see if I could show this with everything back here. I don't think I can. Can I? Look who it is. No, I'm not going to be able to do it. Hold on. All right, so we got everything out of the way to give us more room. So like I said, there was that vendor that did all the 3D models and stuff, and I will put the name of their website in the description. But the first thing I noticed was this 3D model of the Jason X mask. They only had one. A little pricey, but look at the detail on this, and it comes apart so you can wear it. It is very large, and it's probably good because you will need a mask underneath this to make it look legit. But if you just put it on as is, it's pretty large. But it's like, look at how, I've seen some of those masks before. I'll keep the back part off. I've seen some of these masks before that are made out of kind of like rubber foam, and it just never looks right. This is nice and sturdy. It's a 3D printed mask, of course, but I still think it is pretty awesome. We'll keep it like that. Will it stay? Let's see if it stays. But really cool. Next up from them, I got a couple of little things. I got a couple things for I got something for my son. It was Pickle Rick. I don't have it. It's in his room. He loves it. Actually, I got so much stuff that they gave it to me for free, which is really awesome. I also got my daughter something not from them. It was like a hair clip, but it looked like the Scream mask. So I wish I was able to show you that, but it's in my daughter's room. But a couple other things I picked up. So I'm really into, let's see if I can find it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I was Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space this year for Halloween. And so I had to pick this guy up. It's Shorty. look how awesome this is. Really great detail. 3D modeling here. If I just, and it stays up. And the cool thing is, they have 3D printed popcorn. And they gave me 4, and I've already lost 2 of them. And I hope when I wasn't drunk as fuck one of those nights, I didn't try to eat it. But I was able to find 2 more. But this is 3D printed. Really cool. I think it's going to really go well with... I have like the 3D, you know, the popcorn monster. I don't know what you really call it, but I already have that. So it'd be nice to kind of have that with that together. And I also got the this amazing cotton candy cocoon. Look at that. From Killer Clowns. And it also acts as a Christmas tree ornament. So really excited to have that. Put that in the background if you can really barely see it. Got a couple other things as well. So that's from the 3D printer guy. Really cool, guys. And I will leave a link in the description below to that. Then they have a ton of vendors that do these kind of like tumblers. And I almost picked one up that was like VHS side, you know, covers, like the spines that look really cool. But as everyone knows, my favorite movie is The Lost Boys. So I got a Lost Boys tumbler. Comes with a straw, which is somewhere. There it is. But just, I didn't love like the background, like, you know, everyone, you know, the bridge. I would have rather the whole thing be red, to be honest, but it's Lost Boys. So I had to get it regardless. Let's just throw this guy here. There we go. What else did I get? Oh, I got another mask. There was a guy selling masks and other things. And, you know, this is straight up like one of those plastic masks that you can get. In fact, I've made my own. I made my own Part 6 mask, and I know how hard it is to do. A lot of spray paint, a lot of detail. So the fact that I see people selling, you know, a lot of people will buy or sell those fiberglass masks, and yes, those are the nicer ones, but sometimes these plastic ones, you put enough effort into it, it looks great. And so this is a Part 7 one. I was between this and a Jason vs. Freddy one, where the Jason, well, there goes the popcorn. I mean, not popcorn, the cotton candy. Anyway, a Jason vs. Freddy one, but it was like darker. It was like a brown with the slashes. But this really caught my eye. And like I said, this is only $35. So great price. And I think it's well worth it. Like I said, I made one of these myself. It took days just to make one. So really like the detail. It's Part 7 mask. I'll put that, if that could, there we go. Stay there. And if I can find, well, the top came off, so maybe I can just, boom, there you go. What else did I pick up? I got a buddy of mine that I used to work with, my old company. He was a huge fan of Supernatural, and he has a couple young kids, and I'm hoping to see him pretty soon. So I picked up, for like $4, Supernatural coloring book. I think he would get a kick out of that for his kids. So I picked that up. I don't even know who that vendor was. There was some rando vendor there that I got that from. And then Tony from Hack the Movies was there, believe it or not. And he was selling a couple things. He mostly is kind of talking about his channel, showing clips of his channel. But he was also selling some VHS. So I picked up something that I needed. I think this almost finishes my Halloween VHS collection. I still need Halloween Part 3, Season of the Witch. But here is Halloween Resurrection on VHS. And this is great because this, like I said, now I'm one away from that collection, from finishing the collection. So here we go. And then I also picked up, because I'm surprised I didn't have it, was Predator. CBS box VHS. And this was like $5. There it is. There's the price. Unbelievable. Halloween Resurrection. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, Halloween Resurrection is 15, which is kind of crazy because I would have expected this to be 15. But CBS Fox, and I didn't have that, so it's amazing to have in the collection, of course. And let's try to put everything back together if we can. Here we go. What else did I get? A couple other things that I probably can't put on here just because there's too much on here already. I got 2 vinyls. First one is They Live. This is $40. I checked online. That's a pretty good price. This is from Death Waltz, The Art of Soundtracks. And this is They Live from John Carpenter, of course. And here is side A. If I take a look at that. And here is side B. And it opens up pretty nice, so I can't wait to open this up. I will probably do I plan on doing a bunch of collection videos. I always try to do that, and I never get a chance to, but if I do that, I will do a vinyl collection, because I have a pretty decent vinyl collection so far. And then next up is completing the collection, my Friday the 13th from Waxworks, and it is part 2. I did not have this one. Jesus Christ, I dropped everything. Anyway, this is part 2, which is what I was missing. So really nice artwork. Here is, if you can see that, if I want to pause on that, everything from part 2, which I can't show because, oh boy, well, my cotton candy is too far away. Come on, bro. Come on. This is a nightmare, I'm telling you. Here we go. Come on, shorty. There we are. What else? Oh, let me show you some cards. So like I said, I'll leave a description below for the 3D printer dudes, which were awesome. But I will show you these guys. Slash House Studios. If you can see that. Hold on. There we go. Slash House Studios. And these guys, they make shadow boxes and lamps. I almost picked up a Nightmare on Elm Street lamp. I waited until the last second, and when I walked by, they said it's already sold. But they gave me their card, and I will be able to order it. Hopefully, have someone in my family order it in time for Christmas. So that is awesome. But that's it. That is everything that I picked up from Monster Mania 65. Let me know in the comments below if anyone is watching who went to Monster Mania. What did you pick up from the convention? Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see you guys in Nerd Cave.